Definitely should be an interesting one. i2p Esports coming off a victory, but also running Calamity, running Deadlift, so it was an interesting game to say the least, but definitely overall a great performance, and looking forward to seeing more out of these guys. A team that, I mean, I personally just don't know anything about and don't recognize any of their player names whatsoever, so it's fun to have these kind of surprises here in an event like this. So, but again, up against a very solid team in Shrek, but right now up 1-0, so. Joined by Snewy once again as my co-caster. The initial bans, very interesting. Deadlift, Behemoth, Calamity, Midas. So, talk about reacting to the first game. Ogre bans both Deadlift and Calamity here in the banning stage. So, there you go. That's how we're going to start this, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, they were definitely not prepared for that kind of strategy. They are not used to playing versus it, so... yeah, get rid of both of them. I like the decision from Strikeslav. And now they're looking to get up the Mora. Of course, very solid support hero, has seen a lot of spotlight lately. And they're going to follow it up with Kraken, which I know that Tastic plays a really, really dangerous Kraken.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mora and a Kraken, always a solid start. Got Thilifon and the Magnus, though. Pretty confident start themselves. A couple of line stunts coming out with those two heroes. But again, Cthulhu last game, I believe it was played by Hoyst, H-Y-U-S-T. That guy there.
Yeah, position at least, the yellow one.
Yeah, I believe it was him. But yeah, he did fantastic with the hero. Earlier on in the game, he didn't die, and I think he eventually ended up dying, but still had some great initiations all throughout and was a lot of fun to watch there. So, yeah, I'm confirming. Wow, yeah, 6'2" and 28. Was his hero stat line, so 28 assists.
28 assists? That's crazy for fans.
On top of 6 kills, so clearly comfortable with the hero.
Yeah, and Magnus is similar to Meraxus, or similar and similar. He's got some similar initiation stun at least, with the line stun to follow up on Cthulhu, so it's safe to say that they are familiar with that communication.
Yeah.
Bubbles now on the Legion team. That's it's a little bit dangerous, I feel. Of course, it could pay off as long as you're fast with your reaction. But I mean, if you get hit by one stun, then of course there is another one to follow it up. And Magnus is usually, that lava surge at least, is really difficult to take cover. It could work with trample, depending on how fast Cthulhu is. But yeah, Magnus is scary. Now Torture, though. I'm not sure why they wanted to pick up the Torture. It wasn't really that successful in game number 1. Might not have been solely because of the hero, but the player also being out of position at times. But I mean, Torture versus Bubbles, especially if this is in the mid lane, or if Bubbles were to be played in the mid lane, then it's very easy to take cover the chain reaction.
Yeah.
But they might be just be looking to outzone the Bubbles instead with that impalement of his, so it could be successful. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, what they decide to do here. The bans following now, pretty carry heavy so far. Swiftblade, Silhouette, Moraxis, and Clanks. You see Ogre banning out Moraxis. I mean, you already got a Magnus and a Cthulhu over here. Moraxis on top of that would be a lot of early just kind of initiation, stun initiation. So, don't know if that necessarily would have been happening, but
that felt like a little bit of an overkill at least.
Yeah.
I could definitely have put it into something a little bit different. I mean, it's safe to say that they are going for some kind of carry option here, so could have potentially blind another carry hero. I mean, they have a little bit of odd heroes, or I mean, they played Calamity, so I'm not really sure what to expect from these guys.
Exactly. And we even saw Ogre in the kind of the pregame there while getting the technical stuff figured out that I think it was Imba Bingham making the point. He's like, yeah, I kind of forgot Calamity was even in the game. It's been like a couple of months since I even remembered that hero. So it's a good strat to just catch people off guard completely with a hero that's somewhat newer on the hero list and as well as never played. So that'll do it.
Well, a little bit of a tip to the players who are running these qualifiers is to actually look through your opponent's previous games and get an idea of what kind of strategy they like to run. Definitely not happening in this case, then.
Yeah. Yeah, as we pointed out, we jumped to the game with these guys in the earlier round, and sure enough saw them playing Calamity. So you're right. It's that definitely is a fault to Ogre there that they did not necessarily look that up, but it did catch them off guard perhaps. But well played definitely by i2p Esports. But Tempest is going to be the 4th pick on the side of Shrek. So a lot of AoE synergy.
That's a really strong one as well. I feel like Tempest is going to be really dangerous in this game. There is still a Parasite on the board, though. Of course, Hellborn team is the one with the control fant, but they could still run him. Oh, they're gonna go with the Keeper of the Forest instead. Damn, these guys continue to surprise us.
Becoming a fun team to watch, man. This is definitely becoming one of the more entertaining teams in terms of they are not afraid to try different and new things. And, you know, people might be saying, well, Keeper new, what do you mean? Well, obviously, if you haven't been around for a while for whatever reason, Keeper has changed quite a bit. He no longer has the minions. He has, well, the one minion, you could say, now, and that's called the Nature Sentinel. I'm not going to explain exactly how it works, but, again, it's different. Coming back into tournament rules this recent patch, this is the first time we get to see him on Honcast here as a changed man. So apparently
that
he's a good carry now.
Counter. Oh yeah, that is. He is insane. Full slotted, he like 2 shots out of carries. Maybe not that extreme, but I've seen it happen. If he picks up a Rift Shards, Savage Maze, for example, that's the kind of item build that you could potentially see from this Keeper of the Forest nowadays. But in this game, I mean, the first thing that, or the main reason I would assume, was to counter Tempest Ultimate, Elemental Void. But also secure a little bit of a late game. Now they might not necessarily have it to commit fully to that, you know, like hard carry kind of hero. Maybe they can take something a little bit more aggressive, like a Wretched Hag, something similar to that, for example, that could potentially join his 3 teammates and run around and create a lot of trouble. Instead, nope, never mind. They're going to go for yet another hard carry.
Why not Bushwhack? Why not Bushwhack? I love this team, man. Because not only do they run some fun stuff, but again, they clearly make it work too. So these are fun teams to watch right here. How did they get knocked down by that? I want to double check that. Who did they lose to? Let's see. They lost to.
It was Rebo, if I'm not mistaken. Revolution.
Let's see. So yeah, they lost in the previous round here. They lost to Revolution. You are correct. Revolution. Team of Squirry, Escuri, ST. Okay, I don't really recognize too much of them, but. They've been
playing a lot of 3 versus 3 tournaments.
Okay.
Been winning quite a few of them, but it seems like they're taking the step up to actually take part in the 5 versus 5 now as well.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them. But yeah, so again, a fun team to watch, and showing Bushwhack here. The Keeper of the Forest is one theme, Bushwhack another one. It's just like, it's good to see. You know, there was a Reddit post on Bushwhack fairly recently that I remember. It got some good discussion going. In terms of just trying to figure out like what people thought about the hero, what they think could be improved, and for me, it goes back to the idea that this hero, his ultimate is a little underwhelming. It's a dot, and so it's not even an ability you use. It just naturally happens when you use, you know, just auto attacks, poison dart, whatever. I'm not saying it's not powerful. It's kind of just underwhelming in a spectator point of view, and you know, even as a player, I think you could say. But honestly, it actually is some pretty good damage and will add up. Quite a bit. So his carry potential, it's extreme, as we've heard before, especially from the Southeast Asian scene. They apparently have history running it.
I mean, I remember Chessie playing the hero when it first arrived to the game, and I think he broke the 1,000 gold per minute.
That's right, yeah. I think that was a scrimmage, but still.
Oh, really? No, I think it was a tournament game. Are you ssure? I think it was versus like Trademark or something like that.
Was it? Maybe it was a tournament. Maybe. Yeah. Actually, I think you're right. Yeah. No, it did happen. It wasn't a very significant match, but it was definitely a tournament match. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking back on it, yeah, he did very, very, very well with it, and that kind of. But even that's the thing though. That's what I love about the heroes. It's like even though that happened, we still never really saw it. It's like a dude farmed 1,000 GPM with him. It's like he's not interesting. We don't want to use him.
Yeah, true. The meta is a little bit different now, with a little bit more gank-oriented, so I guess he's falling victim a little bit too fast in some cases. He doesn't have the same escape mechanism like a Clanks, for example, who has a little bit more of a out-attack range and, of course, that flight ability. But, well, at least in this game, he could use his sidestep to at least get out of the Kraken ultimate.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Well, hopefully this pause not much longer here. Looks like maybe, I guess, the Hellborn team just pausing a little bit longer. Perhaps some strategy talk here to figure out what's going to do. But it looks like they're good to go now. And we should be good. So this Keeper, it's going to be a jungle, right? With this setup, yeah.
100%. He can't really be in our lane anymore with the 3 dogs taken out.
That's true.
The Legion team the fact that they put Kraken in the suicide role, I mean, we don't see that too often anymore. It's just it doesn't have the scariest potential in terms of finding experience and all that, and especially versus Torture, he's the kind of support hero that you want to pick up when you're up versus a melee suicide, because Impalement, of course, second highest damage dealing spell in level 1, is going to be more than fine to get this Kraken out of the lane, or at least out of the experience range, as long as Torture plays this correctly.
This Kraken skin, man. It's cracking me up. Oh, God, I had to do it. I had to. The puns are real. The dad puns.
It looks like one of those commercial things that like people dress up as and stand outside of like a lobster store. And like, you know,
it's like outside of Red Lobster, like yeah, you're holding exactly. A sign. It's some clever cosplay going on, that's for sure. Oh boy, I'm very curious what the ultimate looks like.
Look at his items. They just got delivered. 6 bites and 1 health pot.
Yeah, what the hell did he buy?
I don't know. It's in space. I expect that he might be looking to just pick it up in the outpost instead, but he doesn't have any gold on him.
Yeah, so he bought something.
I don't know what the hell. Did he miss? Oh my God, he did. He had the marchers and he didn't sell them in time. That is the only explanation.
Is that what happened?
So he just lost 250 gold. It must have been. He had the marchers when he ran out to place that ward. That just got countered by Torture as well.
Oh, so. Are you? Oh. If that's the case, that's so brutal. I kind of want to double check that when the stream catches up.
It has to be. Like, I saw him having marchers, and I know that might, or in cases that actually happens to players.
Yeah.
Especially when there's like a pause, like straight after you just purchase the marchers as well. Then you're not like in the right mindset anymore, and you're like not thinking about actually selling them, and you sell them too late, and you're like, okay, fuck this.
He's in a horrible spot too, because he's up against Torture, arguably one of the better babysit supports in the game. You got a Bushwhack on top of that, and I am shocked that Bushwhack's not just right-clicking this Kraken right now, because especially without a Buckler, man, like you should be harassing the hell out of him. Because the ball, by the way, goes down. Bloodlust kill in the jungle down here on the Legion side. That is a suicide Cthulhu. He just got caught trying to harass Tempest, and my guess is he actually blocked him pretty well with these elements. That's like the only explanation right there, because there's really no other reason why Cthulhu should die this early to that. But
no, I mean he went for hook him instead of trample level 1, so he needs to be really careful. And I don't know, going into the forest, I guess he was a little bit too greedy. Got picked off. That's a big kill at least for the Legion team. And now he's not going to have an easy time because, I mean, he doesn't even have a trample, and Moira is, or is aware of this, so he's not going to be able to put out any damage. He can harass him as much as he wants, and I don't know, I don't know if he can still stay down here. It's going to be so problematic for him.
Meanwhile, top lane, also problematic for Kraken. Kind of saw that one coming, especially with the start here. You see, he does have the Buckler now at least, purchasing it from the outpost, so that's the good news, but is going to be forced to use his health potion right here against the Torturer. But he's level 2 currently. You do see the Poison Dart coming out now for Bushwhack.
So Cthulhu now, same thing is going to happen again. He's going to go for the Skeleton King, I would assume, but no. He's not.
Yeah, he's still level 1. He figured it would have been too much of a risk. Now, the mitigation would have been nice, but oh my gosh, he's still dead. He's gonna eat the creep, the minion of the Skeleton King at least, but it's not going to be enough. He goes down. Meanwhile, middle lane, by the way, Bubbles takes out, who was it? That was Magnus there. Wow, this start here from Shrek. They are on a mission. 3-0 already.
Yeah, doing a very solid job. This is definitely not what you want if you're having 2 hard carries in your team, Keeper of Forest and the Bushwhack. You want the laning phase to go as smooth as possible, and then just like sit back, defend your towers, and focus on stacking the forest. But Torture has already been forced to rotate towards the mid lane just to try to soak up some experience that Magnus just lost. And Kraken, look at him, he's actually going to put up a little bit of pressure on Bushwhack. I think that might be a little bit of a mistake though. Seeing as Torture is going to rotate over. Bushwhack is not going to go for it. I'm surprised. Like you mentioned, it starts well. I really feel like Bushwhack should a lot more pressure than he is on this Kraken.
You see right here, Kraken might be in a lot of trouble. Poison Dart up in 3 seconds. Doesn't even matter. More than enough damage to secure the kill. And Kraken does fall. So, yeah, I was just about to talk about that, too. It's honestly ridiculous that Kraken's even level 3 at this point. It was doing okay, but at least they do kill him, and that's the good news for the Hellborn side. That's the one lane that obviously they really need to win now because of, especially with the 2 deaths at the bottom. You have Magnus now dying. Keeper of the Forest, I'm going to assume is doing pretty well. He's 17-0. I mean, 200 gold per minute. That's a better way to judge. And it's not great, but it's not horrible, I guess. I personally just don't know what to expect, to be frank, as far as the new Keeper of the Forest with his GPM early on. So I know that it's pretty weak early on. The W is very weak at the level 1, of course, Nature's Sentinel, and he's going to keep it at level 1 for the time being. He actually gets a second point into the Ent Moon first here for the attack speed as well as the lifesteal that he gets. So do you have insight on the new keeper? Are you confident that maybe you like a different style of build even, or?
No, I think the build is right. I mean, his tree cannot tank, so he needs the Iron Buckler to survive. And obviously Logger's Hatchet helps with stacking as a melee hero. That's extra important. So I think you have to go for this kind of style. And but yeah, as you said, I mean, he farms incredibly slow in the early levels. Then when he hits level 5, it's gonna go up to at least 250, almost 300 potentially if you play incorrect, I think. But he's level 4. I mean, he's doing okay, but that's the risk with it, and I think that's the reason for why we haven't seen it so much in competitive. Like, he's so vulnerable. Like, just as a Solstice, he farms the creep with his body, or he tanks the creeps with the body, so he's always going to be on relatively low HP. And even in this case, he doesn't even go for the Invis, not even 1 level. So if someone were to find him here, like a Bubbles, then he might end up going down.
Magnus, whoa, stunning right there, actually completely whiffing. I don't know if that's just simply to get away or something else, but anyways, in the end is going to be fine. Bottom lane, Cthulhu Font. Look at those Dark Blades cutting through Cthulhu Font. Didn't stand a chance, really could do nothing at that point. The silence too strong. I don't even know if he had enough mana, didn't even notice that, but Dark Lady, level 6, just charging in and picking up a kill on Cthulhu Font. This guy's struggling. He is 0-3-0. Being played by human device this time, by the way. You know, we talked about last game how Hoist here, he acted to play Cthulhu Font. He did a fantastic job. He's playing the keeper this time around. As middle lane, though, yeah, Cthulhu Font coming in on a Bubbles right here. This could definitely redeem a little bit at least, and it sure will. They kill Bubbles, as Moria Illusion could not get there in time. So good rotation at least.
Really big kill. Yeah, in fact, the Torture was over there as well. Didn't even see that. I'm surprised that he left Kraken alone at the top, but I guess Bushwhack is strong enough to take on him, or take him on one-on-one now. So that's a big kill, so, granting Magnus the Marchers and Torture some extra levels, as well as Cthulhu Font that's already been struggling. Getting the extra experience boost is a big deal.
Yeah. So Cthulhu Font level 4, I mean, at least, again, that's kind of the good news. Making the best of a bad situation kind of deal is where he's at right now. Middle lane, Magnus going in for the Eruption. It's not going to work. I don't know why, I feel like we see that too much. So it's like, oh, yeah, now he's going to die here too. Magnus, they insist on stunning and trying to channel an Eruption against a hero that can stop it. It's never going to work in those cases. As Kraken, he's going to go down. At this level of play, you cannot expect them to be delayed in terms of using the ability they need to. So, yeah, very, very big misplay there from Magnus. Top lane, though, at least his teammates getting the kill on a Kraken. As bottom lane, Cthulhu Font almost was in trouble, but he charges away. So
it's unfortunate that the solo laners are doing such a poor job in the laning phase here. I mean, if they would have just been keeping themselves away from actually dying and feeding their opponents, I feel like the Helmut team would have been in a great place. But seeing as Cthulhu Font has died 3 times and Magnus has died 2 times, and they're already in a heavy disadvantage when it comes to experience gain, then yeah, it's going to be tough for the keeper that's going to Bones build. I mean, he's going to have to farm yet another item before he can even take part in fights. He got the ultimate though, so he could potentially pick up a kill onto Kraken here at the top lane. But other than that, he's going to be solely focusing on getting his farm up in the forest.
That's what I do like about the Keeper of the Force as well, and that's why I think I honestly expect to see him quite a bit. It's actually bottom lane through the Font. Elemental Void to guarantee it. Maybe a little overkill, but it does secure it absolutely. So that's what it's there for, as we always talk about.
Yeah, but they already used the trample, so that was a big overkill.
Yeah. Well, they got the kill 8 minutes in. Not expecting necessarily a huge Elemental Void this early on in the game. So the fact that it secures a kill this early is good news nonetheless. And they are going to push the bottom lane now, and this should be an easy tower push. As Cthulhu Font suffering his 4th death here. Probably going to head back down, but definitely not going to be able to save this tower by any means.
They should do the same, by the way. The Hellborn should just keep on pushing the top tower here. They see that Kraken is down in the box.
Yeah. You see Bushwhack and Torture. They're not pushing it, though, necessarily. They're just taking their time with the creep wave. here comes Keeper, though, and now this means it is going to be a push. As, yeah, damaging down the catapult. So, going for the counter push a little bit later, but it's going to be happening nonetheless. You see the Nature Sentinel put down, and that's some good damage. You mentioned Keeper is going for that Alchemist Bones build. Is this going to get him the Alch Bones? I don't think it is. If he gets the last hit, actually, it'll be pretty. Actually, yeah, he will get it if he gets the last hit. It's just a matter if they'll give it to him or not. Nope, Zerda takes it, so he's going to be still a little bit shy of the Alchemist Bones, but giving the last hit to your carry, never a bad option.
Yeah, look at the mid lane. They're going in on Magnus.
There's the Kelp Field, Song of the Sea, the nice Mana Sunder shortly after. He's going to be forced to Steam Bath, which actually will keep him alive. That's well played there by Magnus. Managing to escape. Keeper bottom lane? No. Dark Lady falling back.
Yeah, I mean, he hesitated whether or not he wanted to use the ultimate, but he wouldn't have been enough damage with only Cthulhuphant there.
Yeah. That's a great thing about this new Keeper, though. It goes back to his ultimate. I mean, he still has the ultimate. That's the core of this hero, really. And as long as he still has that ultimate, he's still going to be a solid option at the very least, I think, at least. So it is arguably one of the best ultis in the game as far as what it does. And, of course, a classic Tempest Stopper. And that's what we have here, so. He's heading back to base. He's going to finish the Alchemist Bone, so we'll see how he progresses from there. As Cthulhuphant, by the way, picks up the Invis. Is going to be fine. Thank God that was an Invis rune. It's either that or maybe a Haste rune where going to be the saving graces. So helps keep him alive. But they are really investing. This is a very greedy lineup, especially with the Alchemist Bones build. On Keeper. And that's kind of the question, isn't it? Is a very greedy lineup against a Dark Lady ever a good decision? It's kind of risky. And right now Dark Lady is well on her way to her farming item.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, Keeper of the Forest, if he gets a Brutalizer, I think that is might even carry better than the Dark Lady. Like, at least when it comes to terms of out-attacking. Maybe not in overall team fight potential. I mean, Dark Lady got that mobility spell of her, and of course the silence that's very effective in the late game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see how this game progresses. I'm getting a little bit of frame drops. I'm not sure if that's noticeable.
No, not necessarily. You sound fine to me for right now.
Alright, cool.
It seemed like you were a little lagged there for a second, but no, overall it sounds fine. So, yeah, I'll let you know if anything sounds off. Kraken, by the way, he uses Release the Kraken thinking that he was going to be dove there at the top lane, and he ended up not, so kind of a waste in a sense, but playing safe right there. But middle lane, Bubble's going to be fine, as Moira also nearby, so spotting that incoming gank from Cthulhuphant, this ward of sight, very likely the reason right there. Tassi placing a good ward for his own vision. Dark Lady, Rune Cleaver, I believe I saw the second broadsword, yep. So that's going to be delivered now. And the fact that she's kind of been able to push this bottom lane like she hasn't, she's going to get the secondary tower by herself. It's just Cthulhuphant. Okay, here comes a TP. It's a little too risky. Denied! Oh, God, that was close. That catapult flying through the air.
That was incredibly close. Must have been down to like 1 or 2 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, well, she got a Rune Cleaver anyway, so she's going to skyrocket with the farm. There is a Trisect Actions waiting over at their side as well, so she could potentially rotate over there in the near future, unless Bubbles wants to use it to get his pull key.
Well, so the greed continues there. That's going to continue to be the case, getting the Alchemist Bones pick up. And a little curious about the decision from Keeper to go to the Ancients after he gets his Alch Bones. That doesn't really seem like the best synergy there. And Ancients, honestly, in general, I really think should be left to Bushwhack. I mean, he's great at those, right? With a Splinter Shot especially, and now that he has a Thunderclaw, but
yeah, that's
Keeper's
true.
taking it.
They can definitely be swapping positions right here. Bushwhack could be the one at the bottom, and Keeper of the Forest could be the one that is sitting in the forest.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess it's okay as long as he rotates back to the forest, as long as, or as soon as the Alchemist Bones timer or the stack pops up. It's down to 1 here. It's going to be another one in 1 minute and 20 seconds. So by that time, he should be back in his own forest.
Legion Ancients. This is interesting. Dark Lady, she's very low in life. They just kill the Ancients, but they're not going to find out. That's unfortunate for the Hellborn side. That could have been a huge kill right there.
Kraken, though, is going to drop. There is no getting out of here for Drogon here.
Poison Dart to start it off, and all of a sudden Kraken realizes that it's a tarp all along. He's going to try to trample out or whatever he does, and in the end he's going to be unsuccessful. Tsunami Charge, that's right. So good job by the Hellborn side, at least getting something out of that Veiled Rock gank. Compared
to the first game, I've got to say that Jakira has really stepped up his game as well on this Torture, playing 2-0-2 already.
Oh, yeah.
Another Moira initiation in the mid, by the way.
Yeah, Magnus he is having a brutal time.
Faster.
Oh, he's going to stay alive, actually. He stuns in on a Bubbles. Torture trying to sit for a kill. Here comes a Trample. Fucking to the ball, TPing and gets the kill. But the Elemental Foot, where's the follow-up? The Moira running in. Here comes Dark in a dark place. Here's a chance. The hat trick right away. The quad kill. Are you kidding me? It works out perfectly. And Magnus now trying to survive from the Annihilation right here. But Dark Lady wants it. And damn it, she's going to maybe not get it. Okay, here comes the start of the Hardcon. It's not going to hit, though. Magnus, he'll go down. There's the Annihilation. The 5-0 is real. Imba Pingu. Wow, that is not something you see often. A Tempest Elemental Void into a Dark Lady cleanup with a Rune Cleaver.
Oh, damn, that was beautiful by Shregislav. I thought at first I thought it was a premature Elemental Void. He didn't have enough backup, but they knew exactly what they were doing. Imba Pingu, of course, finishing it up with that awesome Silence Dark Blade, getting 4 kills straight off, and then chasing down the Magnus. Yeah, beautifully played on their part. They are in a big advantage now in game number 2.
I almost jokingly want to say just GG can see go to game 3. A Dark Lady getting an Annihilation at 15 minutes into the game, who was already farming very well. What are your chances, man? I mean, I will say they do have a Bushwhack that's over 400 GPM himself. He's doing all right. They got some decent team fight. If they get the initiation, they most certainly have chances. So that's why I want to stay away from saying they should GG by any means. But, man, they got to be extra scared now if they weren't already about where she's at. But, yeah, Zerte on Bushwhack, despite that death, he's still farming 420+. I mean, this is a hero that most certainly will farm very fast as well. He's kind of like a Clanks, isn't he, where he doesn't have the Hawk to fly over ledges, but he has a lot of mobility with the sidestep as actually bottom lane. Hoist goes down playing the Keeper of the Forest, so good catch on him. He has yet to use his root as well, as we're now 16 minutes in, and that's kind of a big mistake, I think, even.
Yep, and Drogon up at the top, Kraken once more. Is he going to try to turn this one around? Is it?
Yeah, not going to happen. That was close. That was close.
Oh, Moira is up here. That's going to secure the kill, unless Magnus does that.
Having to use a stun to save your carry from an illusion. That's Moira for you. And he's going to TP out for good reason. Oh, Bubbles! He was hoping to snipe him out, but good job by Bushwhack TPing out when he did. Meanwhile, Torture getting caught out in the river, and he eventually is going to be killed off by, guess who, Dark Lady, who's now 8-0-1, 650 gold per minute. She's going to have a shrunken head in basically about a minute here or so. Nope, never mind. She's going the fire route. She says, well, I don't need a shrunken. Are you kidding me? I got an Annihilation already. And I kind of agree there. I mean, just keep going greedy, Dark Lady. Yeah, she goes the fire
Geometer's Bane, of course, getting her out of the Keeper route as well. So you can afford to go a little bit greedy now. 660 gold per minute, and I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. This is a little bit what I was worried about that when the Hellborn drafted that Bushwhack, when I already had a Keeper of the Forest in the team, that it comes to a point where like your heroes are going to require a little bit too much farm to really be effective. I mean, Keeper of the Forest hasn't really used his ultimate once this game. Nice jump by Kraken though. Or, never mind.
Yeah, sorry, I got stuck on the replay right there. But middle lane, Keeper of the Forest. He is trying to survive right here. Double tap, though, from Imba Pingu. There's the hat trick. No, never mind. Drogon got credit for it, but he gets killed off as well. Imba Pingu is busy chasing elsewhere as he's trying to hunt down somebody. I'm not even sure who he's looking for, to be honest, but he's just roaming around. We'll instead go for the creep wave and another big fight for the Legion side. So watching the beauty of that one big elemental void in the middle lane while that middle fight kind of took place. But again, another case of the Hellborn side trying to push in. Simply just got caught by the Legion team and eventually killed off. So Shrek, the work is being done. 17-6 hero kill lead. Bubbles, no, they're not going to go for Torture. Torture just keeping them busy, but is going to be fine at the end. But Bushwhack does continue. This is not often. A hero's 500 gold per minute at 18.5 minutes, and it doesn't look like it's that great. Because Dark Lady's 720 GPM. This is absurd right now.
It all comes down to the solo laners, though, for the Hellborn team. I mean, Bushwhack has been playing really well. So did the Torture in the early game. But Magnus and Cthulhu just got completely shut down. And that came down to individual choices rather than like the draft or anything like that. So, I mean, if this were to go to a game number 3, I would still see that the Hellborn team has a legit chance of actually making it back.
Yeah.
As long as they step up their game a little bit when it comes to those individual performances there during the laning phase. Oh, what is Cthulhu doing? Trying to catch some elementals. Not sure if that's worth the mana, but...
A trample there, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is hindsight, but I know we brought it up with the idea of the Alchemist build on Keeper and how it was a very greedy idea, especially going up against this Dark Lady who was also farming very well and trying to compete against that. It's just, it feels so off to me that the core of this hero is his ultimate, as I was getting to earlier, and this is why this hero is still very strong in my mind, is that the ultimate's a very, very powerful one. The fact that we're now nearly 20 minutes into the game and he has not even had the opportunity really to use it, it worries me, and to me, it doesn't feel like how you should be playing the hero. I might be wrong on that completely, and maybe you can play him as a pure sit-back and farm-heavy jungler, but it's clearly not working this game, is the point, I guess.
No, it's not. I mean, optimally, you want to be moving around as soon as your ultimate is off cooldown and set up kills. Oh, Magnus actually going to find a Tempest.
Now, he does have backup, though. In fact, he's going to throw out a stun. If he Elemental Voided right there, man, that could have been something, but he chose to try to go for the stun, maybe help turn it that way, but down goes Moira. Yeah, he didn't really have the best backup there.
Look at the Hellborn team, though, or the Legion team. They're actually going to go in here darkly. The Hellborn team got full vision of this. She needs to be careful. I mean, there's still a root of the Keeper.
What do you mean?
She can easily be turned around.
She's level 17 with a Searing Light. She's just fine. She's going to charge in right here. They're going to go for it. The Hellborn team playing completely scared. Torture goes down. Magnus, oh, he gets out. Just barely, so... Yeah,
I guess Bushwhack poured it out as well, but I actually felt like that could have been risky because there were 5 people alive for the Hellborn team at that point, and they had a Keeper ultimate, so yeah, sure, it worked out, but I felt like that was a very risky move, especially when you're in such a dominant lead. There's no need to take those kind of risks.
So Bushwhack just is insisting on just going more and more farm. Again, Bushwhack, he does have a lot of mobility with that sidestep. Granted, this kind of reminds me of the classic Mage Bane versus Dark Lady matchups that we had. It is a similar idea. Bushwhack's going to constantly be sidestepping around, trying to kite away, but if Dark Lady's able to catch up to him, get the silence off, then that's where it causes issues. Geometer's Bane, great to have for that reason, I assume. Oh, no, he's going to Shrunken Route. Also another, obviously, great item to have, not only for Dark Lady, but in general, too. So that's definitely going to be a good pickup for him. But the question is he going to be able to really kite effectively enough to sidestep cooldown? It's only 5 seconds, or 6 seconds, actually. And that on top of the Poison Dart, the Jungle Toxin adding up. He's close to level 16, so... I do still think that the Hellborn side, again, it goes back to they do still have game left in them, and they got the AoE ultimates. They got a carry that actually is farming still pretty damn well, despite looking like it's nothing compared to Dark Lady. But it's gonna be an interesting fight coming up, definitely. That's what it comes down to. The Dawnbringer's finished. Jeez.
It's all going to be about the Magnus Eruption. Like, if he can hit a good Eruption, then maybe they can make it make a comeback. But without the Eruption, they have nowhere even near the damage that's necessary.
There goes the push in the top lane. Now, interesting choice here by the Hellborn team, and now they finally got. They're taking a couple seconds to actually do it, but now they're doing Kongor. This is very likely going to be successful. I mean, there's no vision from Ogre over here. So i2p Esports in a pretty good spot to do this, and yeah, they're definitely going to get it.
I'm not too experienced with the Keeper when it comes to him killing off Kongor. In what level that you could successfully kill Kongor? Oh, Moira Illusion gonna kill. Oh my god, that play from Sephiroth!
Are you kidding me? Is this gonna be a steal? Oh my god, the Elemental Void! Who got it? The token alive? I don't even know. It's just a cluster right there.
Still there.
And now the Legion team is chasing. It's still there, you're right. Oh my god, the token is actually still there. They kill Bushwhack, a 4-for-0 exchange. You got a GG there, right? I mean, what's the point?
That's the nail in the coffin.
What's the point after that? It was a great attempt, but how about Moira, man? Using the ephemeral forge, talk about perfect timing with that ultimate, and then had the follow-up too.
Oh yeah, that was as perfect as it could have been. If she would have jumped 1 second too early, it wouldn't have been enough, and if she would have jumped 1 second later, it would have been too late. So that was like perfect timing, and just the hindsight of using that arcane vortex, just trapping all of them, allowing them or not allowing them to get a token of life. Yeah, it was a really big play. So with that, and on top of the annihilation that we saw earlier in the game, that was a game with some really nice highlights.
Yeah. That is definitely one of the bigger highlights we've had in a while, obviously, referring to that. In fact, I'm going to play it again right here. That was just so beautiful. I will say, I know people were calling out Magnus quite a bit. His Lava Surge was on cooldown. People were saying, why didn't he stun? Why did he stun? I mean, we're seeing it in the replay right here. It was on cooldown the whole time. He finally stuns basically right as it comes up. And by the time he does, though, the quad kill already happened. So, to be very clear, that was definitely not on Magnus. He was the only one that didn't get caught. But, again, he couldn't do anything at that point. So, well played with the Element of Void. They eventually kill him off. There's the Annihilation. And that is safe to say is where the game really just got out of hand in favor of Shrek, of course. And, you know, but it really does come back to the decision-making, the greedy of the keeper, not only the pick itself, but the style. The going the Alchemist Bones, and then, you know, farming the Ancients are at it's just kind of the small things like that you may not be thinking about in the moment. But honestly, if you're i2p Esports, watch this game, you'll definitely learn from that pretty quickly. I think it's safe to say that, yeah, that was probably a poor decision, and let's be a little more efficient with our rotations here. But also not getting caught in the huge format ulti into a